Okay, we got the old Coleman EX. You haven't seen this thing in, it's been
a while.
6 months, maybe, probably. Maybe not. I'm horrible with time.
It's garbage, so we're gonna make it good.
Yeah, we put the red forks on it after, we stole the forks off of it, and we was waiting on Coleman to send us some parts. So Coleman sent us the fork kit, and we're using the old handlebars because we put those higher handlebars on the truck. Then we have a nice set of switches so we can finally hook up the electric start engine. That'll be nice.
Yes, because it did not like pull start.
Well, that was because crappy carb.
Yeah, so that won't fix anything.
So what we're going to do is pull the front end off first. Then we're going to pull the header off because we got a new exhaust. You'll see here in just a spell. So we got to strip it down. We're going to throw a new Mikuni on it because, as you can see, the Mikuni is off of it. Come on, baby, focus.
Pretty sure you Hulk smashed the bike and that's what did that.
Yes, I got very angry one day, pushed the bike over and it broke it. Bless its heart. And there's the exhaust.
Minigun, baby.
Look at that. So that'll be the exhaust on it. It's going to be big, beefy, and look like a military bike. So let's get this forks taken off. Not that one.
Oh, come on, man.
I'm rusty. Alright. Come on, forks. Alright. Oh boy. Oh yeah. Now this should. Oh yeah.
Awesome.
That's it.
Front forks off.
Now we're back to the 212 unicycle build. Just build a chair off the back, put the motor on the front. Go on! Be death.
So we should do it.
So Braxton wants the rack off the front of that, so we're going to donate that rack to him. Now, it's a pretty simple setup. We got the clamps. Now I need to remember which way everything went as well. Oh boy.
There's a good parts pile right here at the front.
You know what? I'm gonna watch my old video and see what order I put everything on. So we slap the bolt back in that. Now for the headlight bracket. I do have a new headlight as well. Next we can slide the forks in. Oh yeah. It does matter on, so we're gonna have to take this completely out because there's a groove. So if you see that groove, that's for this bolt to pass through when you put it in the hole. So we got to get that. There we go.
Perfect. Now she ain't going nowhere till that bolt comes out.
Till she goes somewhere. Ooh. That should be it. Come on, baby. Alrighty. Bam! She's almost done. Guessing those. Oh boy. About smacked me in the mouth. We'll have to adjust these, of course, by sitting.
Yeah, it's easy to adjust them once you're sitting on it.
So off camera, we put the front tire on. Look at those bearings. That puppy's been spinning a while, but we basically, Coleman accidentally sent me the wrong size wheel bolt. This one's about an inch too short. Luckily, I don't know what it's off of. I think the Baja, the 301 mini bike, but it was just a little bit too long, so you had to use these large washers. I'm going to go get some smaller ones tomorrow. It'll just make it look nicer, but we had to put 2 large washers on each side. Lonnie's got to pull that header off so we can build a new header for the Gatling gun exhaust. It's going to be armified. Everything on this bike. Look at the chain. It's premium.
The camera's not even catching how ugly that thing is. There you go.
There we go. It's been sitting outside, no joke.
6 months?
6 months, yeah, under a tarp for 4 of those 6 months.
3.
3. I'm wanting to get a fuel tank for this. I want to leave this because it's handy, but if I could find a fuel tank to put on this bike, I would.
Oh yeah, it'd be so more handy because it sucks filling this thing up.
Yes, you got to go through.
Got a hole down there.
Can show in there. So we cut a hole right there to get the. I mean, it actually works, but it's a pain. So now we can set the handlebars.
That tire is still spinning.
It's a good burn.
That's probably been at least 7 minutes. It's just been sitting there spinning. Oh, my back!
Where they pick up the crotch rockets and unload them and stuff. Well, they're always Honda Groms. I think right there.
Which is smaller than my dirt bike.
Yeah. Think that'll work?
Yeah, that looks perfect. You want me to grab the impact and slam her down?
I think I can.
Oh, yeah. This should do it all.
The socket's on the other side of the
Oh,
yeah,
so you need help, huh?
Yeah.
I think it's on there, Greg.
I'm just making sure. Because in Texas, remember my handlebars went forward on that trail. I think that feels good. You got your...
Looks right. That was a very easy install.
Yeah, that took what? 7 hours? No.
No time at all. 7 hours.
So we got those front forks put on. We got the handlebars where we want them. So now I'm putting on the control switch that's going to have our starter on off as well as headlight on off on it. So Braxton's sanding the front fender right now. I've got to pull the rear fender as well as this storage container, side cover, and gas tank off the engine. We're going to be painting all of those like this olive green color. That was the closest we could find to a camo green. And then we got to do exhaust. So we're going to get to it. This is going to be our Army themed bike build. And I can't put the headlight on until we get the fender on. It's easier to mount the fender on this bike once the headlight's all on there. So I may or may not build my own gas tank for this. I don't know how great it'll look, but the gas tank that fits on this Duramax engine is different than a Predator. Predators have ears that stick up, on the back. This is the same, but these are very small. And that gas tank, we have to go through, you can see where we drilled a hole, so we have to go through the toolbox to put gas in it, and that's always a pain because you can't see how much you're putting in it. So I think I may get some sheet metal out and build a pretty cool gas tank. I do got to build a battery box that's going to sit about right here. Let's try to build a gas tank. A little bit dangerous, but I'm going to try it. It actually worked out really well. Don't breathe out. Probably fine. Just bending the blade a bit. You gotta cut that circle out. Either may do a jigsaw, or I may try the bandsaw. Maybe put a new blade on my bandsaw. Let's go. Close enough. The rest of the way around, we got us a cap. Basically, I'm taking a piece of angle iron. I'm going to trace out the shape of this onto it. If I can, oh boy. Oh boy. Let's see that bad boy. So basically, I have taken 2 pieces of angle, and I need to grind this one a little bit, but I've cut these bevels in them. So basically I can clamp these onto the bike, drill the holes for where the original toolbox used to bolt up. So these 2 pieces, kind of like this and like that. Then I can, like I said, clamp these, mark the holes, drill those holes in it, and then I can put a bolt and a nut and tack the nut on the top so it stays there. Then take these, weld them onto the tank, and that's an easy way to bolt the tank up. The only thing we have left to do is drill out and tap a fuel petcock in that, and as well we got to put our pipe fittings in for a fuel lid. This shirt I noticed at Rural King looks like I made out with a moth. Look at that. I think I wiped my chin on that and it just deteriorated. We need shirts.
That is massive.
I think it looks sweet though once it's all done. I wish I could paint a shark's face on it. You know, like the fighter jets had.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I think it looks cool though. I mean,
yeah.
It looks better than running the tank on the engine.
If there was a way to put like the slant like you were talking about.
I could still cut it. I just have to mark it. Basically, mark a pattern on it, cut it off, and take a piece of sheet metal and put over it. So I welded a galvanized steel punch out of an electrical outlet box to block the old port that used to go through there, and then grind it pretty smooth. So now we can take this might be a doozy and a half to cut. But hey, well, that's what I'm here for. I made this paper template so I can make a cap for this, because this is where your crotch rides, so we thought it'd be nice to have a tapered shape to it. So I can cut this out with some sheet metal, tack it in there, and then kind of fill any kind of gaps, because of course this was a hard cut to make, especially with an angle grinder. So we'll get this all shaped out, and I think it's going to look pretty awesome. All right, we got these fenders, the side cover, and we're going to paint the gas tank here in a little while, but I'm not done building it yet. I'm going to wipe it down with alcohol. We've already rinsed them really good with water. I just want to make sure all the crevices are, you can see all the sanding debris left over. So you always want to wipe it down with alcohol, because alcohol will evaporate off of the part and not leave any residue. Also, I'll probably use mineral spirits. I'm sure would be perfectly fine.
So you have some kind of special technique?
Make sure you get the paint on the part.
If you don't, it won't get painted.
I don't try to 100% cover the part. At first I do like a base coat. And you really don't want to paint with your spray can pointing down like this either. And you really want to go in one particular motion, direction. Let's face it, we never paint nothing, just be happy you're getting some paint slapped on something.
We always talk about painting stuff though.
We talk a hard game about painting.
Well, you saw the prep work just to start painting. This is what we've done today.
Yeah, really, it's all these. Because the forks we did a week ago, and we didn't have all the parts we needed, so we stopped. That's like 50% coverage or so. Once that dries, we'll do a heavier coat next time. Probably won't see it then, you'll see it when it's done.
Really? You ain't gonna show it to the people?
You wanna catch a buzz? Whoa! Like on Mad Max. So I got those nuts welded on, tacked on, and now I can set the tank. Once Lonnie's gonna clean it up real quick, and then I can set the tank on it, tack it, pull it off, and fully weld it. Find a hole. So we're about to mount this Gatling gun exhaust. I got all the fenders and the side cover, valve cover, all that junk painted. Everything's bolted on really nice. The gas tank has a few little pinholes that I'm gonna have to weld up, grind down, just keep testing it, make sure it isn't gonna leak any gas, because building a gas tank kind of sucks when you're doing it out of thin metal. And that welder, she puts out some juice. I've turned it down, but you still gotta be really careful because that fire extinguisher is so thin. So we'll deal with that in a little bit. So the only two things we have left to do is mount the exhaust and the gas tank. So we need to finish the gas tank to paint it. Now this is that Gatling gun exhaust. I think I got this on Amazon. You can get them on Amazon or eBay. They're supposed to spin when you rev it. I don't know if this engine will push out enough exhaust to even do that, but it'll look cool. So I'm basically making the exhaust stick out about level with the back fender, and it's going to set up a little high about right there. So what I have to do is I'm going to cut a piece of tubing that I can weld to this bar that'll stick out, and weld a nut in the end of it right here, so I can run a bolt through this into that nut to make me a hanger. So if we need to remove it, we just take out one bolt, and then of course take out the 6 around there to pull this muffler off. Actually about a 3-inch piece, but it's looking pretty sweet. He's showing the side cover on the engine. And I thought about pulling the ammo can off and painting it the same color green. I don't really think it's that big of a deal, but I'm pretty picky. And you can see I made a huge mistake. I accidentally started drilling my holes for mounting this, and I didn't look which way it needed to be orientated and drilled it on the wrong side. So I'll just put a bolt in there. Who gives a flip? It'll make it look strong, I guess. But I'm gonna cut 3 inches off of this. I keep these little neodymium magnets handy for holding things in place when you tack it. I'm sure over time the heat will kill the magnet, but for now it works pretty well. And now we can pull it off and fully weld it. We only had the top bracket first, but it was a little bit shaky, so we welded on another piece of 1/4 inch flat stock on the bottom, and now we're just tightening everything up. So I had this old battery hold down I made, I think on the street go-kart back when she was red. So these wing nuts will be able to clamp it down. I'm going to put cardboard under it, and I put it under the battery as well, just to keep it from, you know, wearing a spot on the plastic of the battery.
The muffler looks nice.
Yeah, it all looks sweet. We've painted where I had to ground and weld back here. And now this battery's mounted down, I don't think that's going anywhere. The battery should be able to conceal. And there, that's solid now. Before we added that bottom mount, it had a lot of flex to it. I patched a couple holes in the gas tank, a couple pin holes. As soon as it dries, we'll sand it all down, pressure test it one more time, and then we can finally paint it, bolt it on, and then the wiring's the last thing. We should be able to ride this hog. Probably should normally primer it, but I'm not. So the box put back together, but we accidentally spilled some gas on the gas tank and ruined the paint because it was still sticky. I was just impatient. We haven't put none of the decals on it yet, like the stars or whatever we decided to go with. But also yesterday it died on me and I couldn't get it to start back up, and it was almost like it didn't have spark. So we pulled the spark plug, it was getting spark. Then I was like, okay, it ain't getting gas. I realized I had the gas turned off. So I turned the gas on, and then it died by the time I got home, just like it did before, but the gas was on this time. So I found out this pipe cap actually sealed better than I thought it would. I thought, since I'm only hand tightening it, that pressure would probably leak past the threads. Well, that didn't work. So I just tapped this with an 1/8 inch pipe thread. I'm going to put this little barb in it right here after putting some Teflon tape on it in just a minute. And then I got this little dirt bike filter off of Amazon. I'll slide on there. And the Gatling gun exhaust is actually super quiet, which I like. It's probably as quiet as a stock, if not quieter. Which, like I said, I think that's pretty cool, because it's stealth mode for military operations, of course.
In the long history of the world, only a few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its hour of maximum danger. I do not shrink from this responsibility. I welcome it. I do not believe that any of us would exchange places with any other people or any other generation. The energy, the faith, the devotion which we bring to this endeavor will light our country and all who serve it. And the glow from that fire can truly light the world. And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
Redbeard's Garage is powered by GoPowersports.com. GoPowersports has a huge amount of awesome go-kart and mini bike parts, and when making your purchase, use the Redbeard discount code in the upper right-hand corner of your shopping cart to grab yourself a sweet deal. Hit that subscribe button and make sure the notification bell is on so you'll never miss another episode, and go check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Pinterest to stay up to date with the channel. Guys, always come back to Redbeard's Garage. I'm out.